Hello again, Mr. Yusufi here. I am going to show you today how to pull the mathematical model from your Desmos graph. So you should have a graph that looks something like this right now. If you don't have your data plotted and your graph created yet, then you should definitely do that right now instead of watching this video, because none of this will make sense unless you have your graph ready to go. Okay, so your first step in pulling the mathematical model is to look over here in this section right here. Now notice that when you fit your line of best fit in, you're trying to get the line that goes through as many of the points as possible. When you do that, you're going to turn off all the other lines, and then you're going to keep the one line on that is actually going through your point. And if you can see, there's a math equation that's associated with it. It's this y equals a times x. So the a and the x, since they're next to each other, we're saying that those are being multiplied together. All right, so what we've got from your equation is this y equals a x. And let me see if I can make that bigger. Maybe, I guess that's as big as it's going to get. So hopefully you can see that y equals ax, okay? Now, the next step we want to do is not use y's and a's and x's because it's too abstract. We don't know what those actually mean. But we do have a y, and the y is what we refer to as the y-axis, and what we labeled as the y-axis. So for this one, our y, instead of typing y, I'm going to call it the circumference. Oh, circumference. All right, and that is going to be equal to this a value. Now, I've already told you what our a value actually means. It's what this number here, and I'm going to draw a different color. It's this number here. Whatever is after the equal sign on the a from Desmos is your a value. All right, so when I go back into here, oops. No, I want to edit this one. There we go. Then instead of writing this A, I'm going to actually write down what the number actually represents, what the number is. So it's going to be this 3.14. And then we have this x, and our x is what we put on the x-axis. And what we put on the x-axis was the diameter. All right, and so like I said, because they're right next to each other, it means they're being multiplied together. So to do multiply, I can do an x if I wanted to show the times sign. Another way to do it would be to hold down shift and then press the number 8, and you get a star symbol. That can mean multiply. And then there's one other way where if it's just in a parentheses, okay? But I like the star method myself. So I'm gonna hit star, and that means multiply. And instead of x, I'm gonna write down what it actually means. So it would be the diameter. Oops, there we go. So that is how, and then right there, now that I have everything substituted in, I have a full and completed mathematical model. And so this right here is what you're actually going to be putting in, whoops, all those shapes are still there, under this part of your data discussion, which says type your mathematical model taken from your Desmos graph. So whatever you just came up with from here on your graph is what you're going to type right here. Okay? And that's how you do it. So after you have completed this, you're going to want to compare your A value, the one that you got, to the one that we actually discovered that it meant in the real world, all right, that number pi. Are they the same? Does your number and does pi, do they match up with each other? If it doesn't, I want you to think about what are the reasons why you think they don't match. Okay, because you measured circles. Okay, why do you think they don't match? And we'll come and talk about this as a class. But that's it. That's the video. That's how you get your mathematical model. If you've got questions, please ask Mr. Usby about it. That's me, by the way. So ask me about it. And I'll see you in a little bit.